What's going on, everybody? Galactic Battlefront here, and today I have something pretty cool. I was able to get a friend from Canada to get me the World of Halo 2-packs that are pretty much exclusive there right now. So there are 3 of these, and this is going to be the first one. So we have the Flood Tank form, we have Master Chief with the Flamethrower, and then we have some mini floods down here. I forget what they're called, but this is the big guy. This is the one that we were after. I already have this Chief from the GameStop 2-pack, but we have a new weapon, which is pretty cool, and we have some different color stands back here, and of course these guys. So all this is new here, and then we got one old one. So I'm gonna pop this sucker open and we'll get to it. All right, I cut the tape. Let's take this out of the box. Just put this to the side for now, and well, here we are. This just looks awesome. You know, it's not out of it, or it's out of its plastic prison now, so we can see more of what it is. This is soft plastic. I'll pop this out in a second. Chief, we already know. I haven't reviewed him yet, so I'll go over him. And then we have the little flood spores down here. This just pops off, and so there's 3 of these guys. If these were on the floor at night, you could probably think it was some sort of bug. Excuse the noise. Let me pop him out. Nothing really holding him back there. He's gonna have to sit down. Let me pop Chief out and the Flamethrower behind here. Alrighty. So I'll go over Chief last, just because we've had him before technically, and everybody's here for this guy really. But I will go over the Flamethrower real quick because this is a new weapon. You can see the details on there. This looks like it's printed on. What I'm going to assume they're probably pad printed, similar to like what Lego uses. Sorry for the shaking, but you can see it has the eyes there, and then I guess that's the nose with flames coming out of it. It's been a while since I've seen a Flamethrower, but it's pretty accurate to what was in the game. So I'm just gonna go over one of these guys because they're all the same. They look really good. I honestly forget how massive these things are compared to Chief, like size-wise. In the game, you know, like you think they look smaller, but yeah, they're pretty big. So we have soft plastic here, and then this is kind of hard, but the paint on it looks great. I mean, they did a really nice job on this. You have a nice black wash here, and that goes all throughout, and then there's some washes mixed into the legs here, and then you have the tentacles. I guess that's what they are. I'm not sure. Nose pieces. Who knows? You know, it's whatever the flood is. But there's that, and then like I said, you have 3 of these, and they're pretty much all the same. The wash might vary, but the legs look like they're pretty much the same. But yeah, it's really cool to finally have these. These will be used many times over. I wish we could get more. But who knows? Next is this guy, and this is one that I've wanted. As soon as I seen that this was coming out, I had to have it, and any way that I could get it, I was taking it. So when I reached out to my friend in Canada, I'm glad that he was able to find all 3 packs for me, because this was the one that I wanted the most, because it's just awesome. So you can see the deco on it, and everything looks amazing. I mean, when they went through the paint on this, they did a really nice job on it. So you are going to see this, which I'm just noticing now myself. It's a little loose. I might go ahead and tighten that, but he's probably going to just lean hunched over anyway, so I don't really think that would matter much. You can see all the sculpt and the details are pretty much there. I think it looks really good. And you see the black wash all throughout in various areas. You even got the little gaps here, which is really cool. And for anybody that doesn't remember, this is the one that crawls around but then can form into this. It would have been cool if we had like that also, but hey, I'll just take this. This is pretty cool. So I'm gonna go over the articulation on both of these figures in just a second. All right, so to go over the articulation, we have an elbow joint here and a bit of an elbow joint here, and as you can see, you can get pretty good. It's almost 90, just a little shy. And then on this side, I would say that that's probably 90. There's a little bit of a curve here. You're gonna have full rotation, maybe. It's tight, but you can get it all the way around. And that is both sides. And then you have a hinge here. It's gonna allow you to get out that much on either side. Yeah, that's the top of it. So you're gonna be able to get out that much. And then total arm span. So you see that's pretty good. There's a little cut here. Sorry, this keeps rocking. There's a little cut here, but I don't see any articulation. You can see what I mean right there. So nothing there. Obviously they don't grip anything, they just kind of run with this on the ground. This would be, no, that's right, there's nothing on this one either. Thinking of an infection farm from Left 4 Dead, a charger. That's what it reminds me of. One big arm, one small arm. But so you can see that's those two. He does have some movement in his head. Spin that all the way around. This part kind of reminds me of Half-Life, one of the head crabs. So you can zoom, you can go all the way up that high, you can go all the way down that low. I'm assuming his head would probably sit about right there. That would be like neutral for him. Again, these are made of soft bendy plastic, so you don't have to worry about these snapping off or anything like that. Same with these, you know, they're never going to break unless you absolutely force it. Again, you have this ab crunch, but it's loose. This is a heavy piece up top, so you could probably pull this apart and tighten it. But like I said, it kind of just leans forward in the perfect position. So unless you have him like looking up at something, I mean, you could probably get it, but once you lean him forward a little bit too much, he's gonna rock down. But you know, like I said, you could probably just pull him apart like this. You just take either clear nail polish remover, or you just spray the crap out of this with some clear coat, and it'll probably lock up pretty good. But other than that, you know, that's fine. So legs, we have a hinge here, a ball joint, sorry. There you go, you can see that. So that's gonna pretty much get up that high and be able to kick pretty far back. You can probably get up a little bit higher than that. Right, I would say right about there before it snaps off. But to have it look like he's walking normally, I would say about right there. He has a joint at the knee, which can get really good range of movement there, so you can have him in a pretty good running pose there. Obviously, you know, action figures, these aren't going to look perfect here, but this looks a lot better than the Spartan Collection, and that looks a lot better than the Spartan Collection, so we're going to take this all day long. We have similar to the Brutes, I think, but this one I think just spins. Oh no, it does move a little bit. Okay, so you can see the joint down there, so that's pretty cool. So it spins. I believe this is probably going to be the front of the foot, somewhere like that, and then that'll just move up and back, and this one's probably going to be the same thing. Yep, and then spins, and we'll go bend this leg so you can get that one pretty good as well, and you can get it up about that high, and then if you spin it, probably about that high before it will snap off. These are the soft plastic that they've been using. I don't think that any of the other figures, even the older ones, were like a really sort of rough plastic or a hard plastic, but it works for him, and you can see he's standing pretty well. I didn't even try to pose him, I just kind of put him there. I think his foot's backwards anyway. Put that there. So he stands pretty good, so we'll put him next to Chief for a size comparison. And you can see right there, Chief is I have him standing pretty spaced out actually, but Chief's about the same size as him if I stand him up the way I think he's supposed to be. Actually no, it wouldn't make sense because this leg doesn't go straight, so yeah, he's supposed to just stand kind of like this. So yeah, I could be wrong from the game, but he's a little bit taller than Chief. I know right here you can't really tell. I'll get a different angle at the end of the video, you'll be able to see, but Chief's here, he's up here. So he's just a little bit taller, a little bit bigger too. So we're gonna go over Chief now. Like I said, this figure is not exclusive to this pack, thankfully. One of the best sculpts for Chief, I think. Halo 3 was my personal favorite, for his armor design at least. Gameplay wise, probably Halo 2. But you can see we have this sort of reflective visor. You can see my hand in it, but anything past a certain distance you can't see, which is really good for photography. And I really like that they kept that. I'm gonna do a comparison to the Warthog one. I did give this a wash, so this does not come like this, just disclaimer. But you know, you can see that, and that's really good. Mine has like a little smudge mark from the paint there. I'm just gonna get a closer look at that. Yeah, it's like a little smudge mark there from the paint. So I have a couple of this figure. I'm not going to worry about the helmet, obviously. Maybe I'll repaint this one and do a test with some vinyl chrome. We'll see. But we're just going to go over him now. So you can get his shoulders or his arms up pretty well. You can keep him in, you know, the classic T-pose. Very easy. He does not have much range of movement here. You're going to get him down about that far and back about that far. Not really anything on the sides. This piece right here hinders it. It just kind of goes up. Let's see if I can pop them off. So you can see if this shaped in towards that way a little bit, like on a slant, you could probably get some more. But I mean, that's a simple customization fix, because you can see that that isn't seen. So when you pop that off, you would just go from up here and you can kind of like cut away a little bit at the plastic. Then you could probably get him to lean forward a little bit. You could do the same with the back, because it would just be this area right here probably. And that, you know, like if you're gonna have a couple of these, you can do one and test that, so that'll work there. Arms, you have pretty good bend. When I make the comparison, I'll show you guys what I did, because I customized the other one a little bit. So just shy of 90. Since the plastic's a little bendy, you can kind of push it, but it's not going to stay. You have a little hinge wrist. That's for both sides. Both arms are mirrored pretty much. Head, you can turn as far as that. And oh, okay, you can't get it all the way around. Just got to play with it. So 360. There's a little hinge in there, so it's a hinge and ball peg. Obviously ball peg here, but you're not going to get much turning movement either. You're going to get to that far, probably about that far. You can push it a little bit, but you're going to probably bend some parts on the figure that you don't want to. Here is the back sculpt. You have a little slot for the weapon, and then he can kick up without ruining these two armor pieces touching right here, probably about there. You can kind of tuck the leg under. It takes a little bit. You got to go like back here, and there's like a sweet spot for it, but you can get it a little bit higher than that. But that is pretty much going to be your standard height there. I don't know what's going on with the knees here. I think it's supposed to be like this. Sorry about that. My phone died when I was reviewing Chief here, and I was fixing his legs. They were bent a little weird. But we're going to continue to go over the knees here. So as you can see, you can get a very good range of movement. So you can get into a pretty good kneeling pose, just as long as you can get this up, you know, and pushing that out a little bit. It's as high as you're going to get. So you can pretty much do a karate kick if you wanted them to. You know, you just got to play around with it. You are going to be able to bend the leg out pretty far, over pretty far. The sculpt's not going to hinder that too much. Excuse me. You do have a hinge here, and yep, I spin just a little tight there. You heard that little plastic snap. Nothing broke though, thank God. So he can stand pretty well on his own, and as you can see, you can look up pretty well. I actually like that. It's very good. You can also look down pretty good, so you can get some pretty cool action shots with him. And like I said, when this visor is like backlit, it looks really good. I love it. So there are a few changes. Actually no, I don't think there are any. I was looking at so this is the one that came with the Warthog. Mine just has some overspill on paint down here. I thought that they made it smaller, but that's it. So I did some modifications to this one that I'm going to go over real quick. So like I said, his arm bends only that far, so I removed a little bit of plastic. As you can see, I'm going to put them like this. So I removed just a bit of plastic, and I was able to get his arm to bend that much further, so you can see a difference there. So that allows him to hold his gun a lot better. I did that on both sides, and then I of course gave the figure a black wash, which really makes him stand out a lot better. I'm gonna get some black paint in between here so that it hides that green, but I mean, for the most part, it's a really good figure. I was going to take some acetone and go over this black spot, but I think what I'm going to do is literally pop the leg off of this one, put it on this Chief, and just give it a wash, call it a day. This is going to be my good Chief. This one's going to be a custom because there's a little mark on the visor there. As you can see, there's no marks on this one. This visor is pretty much perfect, minus the little bit of hair there. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be my stock Chief with a wash. Every other one that I get will be painted a random color. But you can see he looks very good with them. So let's get the Flamethrower in his hands. Well, we're going to continue to use this one for the review's purpose. Get the Flamethrower in his hands, and we'll see what he looks like with that. Alright, so I went ahead and put that in his hands. He can hold it pretty well. Because of the way that the wrist bend, he can't get a really good pose or grip on it, and this is a lot smaller than what his hand would be, so he's kind of just sitting there. This is how he's supposed to hold it though. So if this wrist joint kind of bent up and down, I think he could get a better grip on this, but you know, it still works. You'll be able to modify it somehow, I'm sure. Somebody will figure it out. Just as long as he can hold it though, is all that matters. But yeah, you can put him in a pose, you can have him holding this, burning down the flood. And it's new, it's a new piece, like I said, so it's really cool to have this. And you know, who would have thought we were gonna get a Flamethrower? But we have it now. Alright, so I included a couple of photos here at the end. The first one that you're going to be looking at is Chief going up against the flood. I positioned the Flamethrower in his hands, and I just set up a basic pose. So you can see that this works very well and will be great for many photos. Second photo you're going to see is a size comparison between Chief and the flood tank. I said he was a little bit taller, but after looking at him head on, they're pretty much about the same height. So you know, I think that they're supposed to be a little bit bigger, but hey, I mean, we have a flood tank, you know, we'll take it. The next photo is going to be Chief and the little flood spores. So I have him hold one, I believe one's on his head. So you can see the size difference for them. And then I have another one where they're kind of just standing around him. So you can see what they look like on the ground. And then the last photo is a photo of Chief kneeling, so that way you guys can see that he can get in that pose. There's just a quick one, but you know, he can get down into those poses pretty well, and he was just basically getting ready to pet some flood, you know, one of those comic memes. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. I'm going to be doing my best to review the other 2 packs sometime this week, and I'll get those videos up as fast as I can, so make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments how the video was, what can be improved. I'm always looking for improvement. I'm new to this, so we will see. But yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you guys in the next one.